To my right is Bounty Law series lead and Jake Cahill himself, Rick Dalton. And to my left is Rick's stunt double, Cliff Booth. So, Rick, explain to the audience exactly what it is a stunt double does.
Actors are required to do a lot of dangerous stuff. Cliff here is meant to help carry the load.
Is that how you describe your job, Cliff?
What, carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
When it comes to movies, we all want to experience something new, as well as something that will fill in that empty space within us. Cinema is a truly wonderful thing. It can bring a variety of emotions to you in a matter of seconds. It can make you happy in 1 second and then in another make you want to cry your eyes out. The power of cinema is truly something else, which is why people love and enjoy going to the theaters or watching movies at home. But hey, what's up guys, it's Aladin. In today's video, I'll be going over the latest film of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and discussing some themes as well explaining why this film is perfect for today's cinema and what it taught me overall. This video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film yet, I suggest coming back to this video when you have. Otherwise, if you don't mind, sit back and enjoy. Now, I won't be going through the whole story of the film or giving you a full review of it, but simply giving you my insights of what I learned and took away from it. But before I get started, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. It definitely helps out the channel grow and lets others like you stay tuned with the latest shows and movies. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified right away when I drop my next video. Now, Quentin Tarantino has done it once again. In his latest 1969 Los Angeles film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's delivered another original, engrossing, intriguing, fascinating, and nostalgic film that tells the story of actor Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo Dicaprio, a former star of the 1950s Western television Bounty Law, and his best friend, former stunt double Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, a war veteran who lives in a trailer with his pit bull named Brandy. He also drives Rick around town and relies on him for work. Rumor has it that Cliff killed his wife, but both men are slowly transitioning their way into an industry that they hardly recognize anymore, which causes the two gentlemen to slowly lose work. Meanwhile, Rick's neighbor, Sharon Tate, played by Margot, Robbie, and her husband, director Roman Polanski, have moved in next door, causing Rick to find a way to befriend them to generate more buzz around his name. With all this happening, in the background, the cult of Charles Manson start entering the scene, where they bring their own type of problems to the screen. Quentin Tarantino is the type of director that loves paying attention to detail and loves providing scenes that will either shock you or make you say, oh shit. Throughout this film, there were a number of scenes that made me feel like I was in the 60s in Hollywood. But the scene that actually made me feel like this was the one where Rick and Cliff are at an intersection and Rick sees a bunch of hippies walking on the side, where then he slowly loses his temper and starts cussing them out in front of Cliff. That was just one example of an oh shit moment, but there were a ton of other moments that truly brought this film alive and made you actually feel for some of the characters. For instance, Rick Dalton is slowly going through this phase where he's aging as an actor and not getting many roles, which is truly eating him alive. He doesn't want that to be his reality, which is why he's doing everything in his power to stay relevant in the business. This phase that he goes through could be his breaking point, or it could be his opportunity to make something new happen. As humans, we all go through obstacles like this, where one day we might have everything and then the next day end up having nothing and starting from ground zero. That's what Rick is going through in the film. There was a scene where Rick was having a hard time remembering his lines due to his alcoholism, and then later having an emotional breakdown in his trailer. It was there where he picked himself up and told himself to knock it off and to remember his shit. He ended up leaving the trailer to go and do his scene. Rick ended up doing such an incredible performance that left the director impressed and speechless, which then boosted his confidence to a whole new level. It just goes to show that despite Rick having a meltdown in his trailer, he still picked himself up and carried his head high and gave a performance like no other that left everyone in the room impressed, especially the director. The first lesson here is that no matter what you might be going through, you should always have faith in yourself and know that anything can happen if you believe in yourself, and give yourself that one little pep talk before going out and attacking whatever it is that you're going after. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the type of film that will transport you to a time that you might say, what the hell is this? It's a time where everyone is just focusing on themselves, but yet at the same time trying to fit in with the crowd. That's why I feel like this film is a perfect representation of our time right now. Everyone is trying to fit in, yet no one wants to find their own place. Tarantino does a wonderful display of this by introducing us characters like Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth, who just simply want to fit in and find work in the Hollywood industry. On the opposite counter of this is Sharon Tate, who simply does whatever she desires. She has a spirit of a wanderer as well as someone who is adventurous. Throughout the film, she showcases this by letting herself go, and simply does it by also letting the viewer know that she is truly happy. There was a scene where she ended up going to the theater theaters to go see her own film, The Wrecking Crew. Now she could have just paid and got in, but Sharon thought it would be a better idea if she just tells the ticket seller that she plays in the movie. It turned out to work and the ticket seller lets her in the film with no charge. This to me showcased Sharon's ability to persuade people as well as finding ways to get what she wants. The way Tarantino constructed her in the film was quite beautiful. He allowed us to see her daily life and let us follow her around to see what she would do next. What I learned from Sharon in this film is that life is far too precious to be constantly worrying about things or people. Let go, live life, and enjoy things that bring you joy. Life wasn't created for you to destroy yourself inside. The second lesson here is that you shouldn't be worrying on a daily basis. Take it easy and allow yourself to have some fun before you self-destruct and can't get back to yourself. We all have our flaws and mistakes, but that shouldn't be the reason for our collapsing. Enjoy life and make memories just as Sharon Tate did. Rick Dalton, Cliff Booth, and Sharon Tate all share this one thing, which is living. They all have their own paths that they follow throughout the film, but at the roots of it all, they're all living their fullest lives, even if that means having some trials and tribulations in the way. Now I will say, this film wasn't one of Tarantino's greatest films that he's ever directed, but it definitely was a film that individuals could relate to and even look upon to when it comes to losing your touch or feeling lost in a world that is constantly changing. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a film that will bring nostalgia to you, especially in the age that we live in now. We currently live in a time where blockbuster franchises are taking over, like Fast and the Furious, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and even Marvel and DC movies. There's no issue with that, but with original work nowadays, it's really hard for it to shine unless you have a megastar cast like this film did. Franchise films are the current wave in today's time, and viewers would rather watch a new sequel to an already established franchise than go out and seek a new original movie that they have no knowledge of. That's what I think is missing in today's age. It's that authentic original work that has lost its touch in today's society. No one is to blame for this, it's just we slowly transition into an era where we really don't appreciate the art as much as we did back then. Cinema has taken a huge right turn over the years where franchises taken over now, but that still doesn't stop the fact that original films still have a place in our time. Quite frankly, original films are what shaped cinema to be what it is today. Cinema is meant to be explored in all areas, even if that means having franchise films taken over for a period of time. It's actually quite good to have franchise films take over for a bit, just because when you deliver a new original work, it makes it far more exciting to go see something new and unordinary than what is usually presented to the norm. The two big takeaways that I'll take away from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the fact that it's different and thought-provoking. It truly captures what a film should be in today's time, something that doesn't expose too much but also doesn't seek to hide much from the viewer. It truly is beautiful what Tarantino has managed to do with his latest film, and how he still manages to find ways to capture the audience's attention even if it isn't the summer blockbuster film. A number of themes could be presented for this film, but one that truly sticks to me is pursuit. The pursuit for all the characters trying to find their place in a world that is constantly shifting right in front of their eyes. The pursuit of wanting to be someone but fear living in a world that won't accept you. The pursuit of just wanting to be better than you were yesterday. And lastly, the pursuit of just following what you really want in life. So as I wind down here, I leave you with this question to think about and maybe even discuss in the comments. What is cinema to you and what emotions do you seek when watching something on screen? The final lesson that I took away from this film is that we should always follow the pursuit or that drive that is burning inside of us, even if that means that the odds are against us or if the world is turning its back on us. Never stop going after what is truly yours and never allow anyone to dictate your future, because at the end of the day, nothing is promised until you make the first move. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is definitely a remarkable film that is filled with intriguing moments as well as moments that will bring you joy and laughter. It's also the same reason why I believe it's the perfect film to go see in today's cinema age. I just want to say thank you all for watching, and if you haven't already, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't by now. Also, hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified right away when I drop my next video. If you don't mind, share the video if you thought it was good and want others to see it. Thank you all once more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.